Hello, welcome back to the Chess Mindset. In this video, I'll be playing against the Girl Scout bot on chess.com, who is rated 900. So in the previous video, I played against the Hiker, who's rated 600. So in this video, I'll be playing against the next bot, who is rated 900, the Girl Scout. So let's get started with this game. Now, if you are, let's say, around, or like trying to get to 1000 Elo and you're around like, I guess 800, 700, 800, 900, then this video will be pretty useful, right? I'm going to be explaining like all my moves basically. So I'm going to start off with d4 and I'm going to go bishop f4. This is called the London system. Okay, so he's gonna, if like, I guess this bot knows some theory, right? She's gonna go King's Indian defense. So I'm just gonna go e3. Wow, so this bot actually knows some theory. So I'll just keep developing. Wow, okay, so far it's like all book moves, I'm pretty sure. Now I do know that in the London system, if you verse against the King's Indian defense, you usually don't want to put your bishop on d3. You want to put it on e2, because potentially, right, your opponent can go e5, kicking away your bishop, and after your bishop retreats, then they could go e4, and if my bishop was on d3, then this will actually fork my bishop and knight. So that's just a very like side tip. It's a pretty like, I guess, niche tip that applies to London system players, but yeah, that's why I'll go bishop e2. So now if they push their pawn to e4, then it won't actually fork my bishop and knight, right? So I'm just gonna castle and then play c3. Okay, king f8. I think she wanted to castle, but mouse slipped. I'm not really sure what king f8 was, but okay, I guess I'll go c3. Okay, h6, preparing g5, logical. So a very useful move here is just h3, right? Giving this square for my bishop, so that if ever like knight h5, then I can just retreat my bishop to h2, and I'll just finish my development. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. So e5. Now, if my bishop was on d3, once I retreat my bishop, she could go e4. Now, in this situation doesn't really work because my knight is covering. But let's say I haven't developed my knight yet, right? If she goes e4, then it would have forked my bishop and knight if this bishop was on d3. So now I could take, but then after takes, I still have to. I guess I don't have to retreat. If takes, I could take, and I do win a pawn. So actually I'll just take, right? Why not? Okay, so that just hangs a knight. Okay, so the ball was playing pretty well until this point. Like, it did know a lot of theory. Oh, okay, that just hangs more pieces. I guess I'll take, yeah, I guess I'll take this, why not? Yeah, so the ball was playing pretty well until it started hanging pieces for no reason. Okay, I'll just develop my queen. Okay, bishop here. So I could just go knight here, attack the bishop, why not? Attack the bishop, and then I'll just take. And at this point, I can just trade off pieces and I'll win the game. So always remember, right, when you're up material, you can usually just try to trade off pieces, and then you're going to win the game, because once all the material is off the board, they can't really do anything, right? They're going to lose the game, because they're just not going to have enough pieces to generate any sort of counterplay. So right now I'll just go here, attack this pawn. Okay, good move at kicking away my bishop. So just drop it back, and I'll take this. Now this looks like a free pawn, but the thing is, right, you can't just look at what is hanging. You have to think about, okay, can they like put pressure on my pieces? Because if I take this pawn with the bishop, then notice this rook, right, is going to be pinning my bishop now, because I can't move my bishop, otherwise it will just take my queen. So then I have to move my queen, but then if I move my queen, then she'll take my bishop. So you have to always think about, like, it's not always just free pieces. You have to think about what your opponent is, like, what's the position going to be like after you take that piece. And in this case, if I take this pawn, I'm not really comfortable with my bishop being pinned, so I'm not going to take that pawn. So in this case, I'll just bring my rook to open file, keep it very simple. Okay, queen here. Now that does it stops defending this pawn because the queen was on this square originally, so I guess I'll take this. And I don't see anything wrong with taking this, right? If rook here, then I'll just go here. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Okay, attacks my bishop. Now I could play this move, and because now I'm threatening to take his queen, he's gonna have to take my queen, and then I can just take my bishop. So this is called an intermezzo, right? And the idea is that you don't have to always retreat first. You can think about the move that you can make in between. So in this case, right, instead of thinking, okay, he's attacking my bishop, or I guess I should say she's attacking my bishop, I have to retreat it. But you could actually make an in-between move, which is just taking this pawn, right, forcing her to make a decision with the queen, and after she takes, I can just take with the bishop. So yeah, that's a very useful tip. I'm just gonna take that. Okay, I'll take this, I guess. Now I could have taken this pawn, I could have taken the f pawn, but then I would have doubled my pawns. So yeah, by taking this pawn, I keep my pawns, I guess, undoubled, or like normal, I guess. And actually I could have just taken the rook. Yeah, I could have just taken the rook here, but yeah, so now after takes, I will just give a check. And if I can trade off the rest of her pieces, then that will just win me the game straight away. Okay, yeah, so now my rook's covering this rook, so yeah, I'm gonna take that. And the rest of this game is pretty simple. I can just promote, or I don't even have to. I mean, I guess I'll just restrict her king here. And okay, I guess I'll just push this and then, yeah, it's game over. Okay, make sure not to allow any sort of counterplay. And now it's just game over. Okay, it's not really going to do anything. And then promote to a queen, and that's checkmate. So hopefully this video was instructive and it gave you a sort of general idea of how to navigate like 900 Elo bots. And yeah, basically the main lessons are, so in the previous bots, the main lessons were just stop hanging pieces, check for blunders. And it's pretty much the same for this one. Except like this one, I needed to know some theory, like of course, like this bishop move, instead of going to d3, going to e2. Now you could get away with not knowing this. I mean, you could just like understand this from experience, but like at this level, the only difference between like this level 900 Elo and I guess under 500 Elo is just you want to always like keep an eye on what tactics are available. And also you need to understand a very important principle, and that's whenever you are up in material, like here, after I took both of her, so after I took her knight and her bishop, right, after like that, I'm up in material, right? So a very important principle when you're up in material is you just want to start trading off pieces when possible. So you go knight here, right, trying to trade off the bishop, and after we get the trade, go bishop here, trying to take the knight, and right, yeah, knight b3, trying to trade off the knight. And basically for the rest of the game, you just want to focus on trading off the pieces, and then after the pieces have been traded, then you're going to win the game because your opponent has no counterplay, and you can just basically simplify the board a lot. And then that's basically what I did here, right? Trade off the last rook that she has, and then you can just promote your pawns and you're going to win the game. So yeah, that's it for this video. In the next video, I will be playing against the bear who's rated 1250. So that will be a little bit more interesting. But hopefully this video was instructive, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.